This video is about the alpha saved a human woman, but the pack called her a curse. If this story captivates you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. The moon hung low over the blackwood forest, its silvery light filtering through the dense canopy. The air crackled with tension as the wolves of the Moonshadow pack gathered beneath the ancient oak, their leader, Alpha KL, standing tall and imposing. The pack's eyes glimmered with uncertainty, their whispers echoing through the night. "She asked a curse, KL. UV defied the ancient laws," growled Ryan, the baiter, his voice filled with fury. Shadows danced across his rugged face. KL clenched his jaw, the weight of his decision pressing heavily on him. "She was drowning. I couldn't let her die." His voice was low but resolute, echoing the tempest within him. "Lydia is innocent. An innocent human, she'll bring ruin upon us." Brian spat, his disdain palpable. The pack murmured in agreement. "UV jeopardized our very existence." Lydia, the human woman KL had saved, lay unconscious in the small makeshift den they had fashioned for her within the heart of their territory. Her golden hair spilled across the worn blanket, a stark contrast to the wildness around her. He had never seen a creature so delicate, so vulnerable, and yet so effortlessly beautiful. "We are meant to stay hidden from humans," Ryan continued, his voice rising with every syllable. "What if the hunters come? What if they find us? UV put us all at risk." KL turned sharply, his blue eyes flashing with alpha intensity. "I will not abandon her. I felt her pain, her fear. She is not a curse, she is my fate." The pack fell silent, the tension thickening as KL's declaration hung in the air. Lydia stirred awake, her eyes fluttering open. Confusion clouded her gaze as she took in her surroundings. "Where am I?" she whispered, fear creeping into her voice. KL knelt beside her, his presence causing a wave of warmth to wash over her. "You're safe," he said gently, the growl of authority softened by tenderness. "I found you near the river." She swallowed hard, memories of the freezing water flooding her mind. "I thought I would drown," she murmured, her voice trembling. "But why are you here?" His heart ached at her vulnerability. "Because I saved you, you're not alone anymore." As she processed his words, KL's pack stood at the entrance of the den, their expressions a mixture of apprehension and curiosity. Ryan broke the silence, stepping forward. "This isn't right, KL, but we can keep her here." "Enough." KL's voice boomed, echoing through the trees. He turned back to Lydia, his gaze softening. "I don't understand what it means for me to protect you. I will fight for you." The warmth in Lydia's chest ignited, but it was quickly stifled by an unfamiliar anxiety. "What will happen to me?" she asked, her voice cracking. If they see me as a burden?" KL shook his head, his brow furrowed with determination. "You are not a burden. You're my mate, even if my pack doesn't yet see it." Lydia's eyes widened in disbelief. "Mate, but I am just a human." "Love knows no boundaries," KL replied, his voice low and intense. "And our bond is stronger than their fears." As the days passed, Lydia became an integral part of the pack, learning their ways and earning their trust. Yet, whispers of betrayal swirled in the shadows. Ryan grew more restless, his loyalty to tradition clashing with KL's love for Lydia. "You think she will ever truly belong here?" Ryan pressed one evening as the pack gathered around the fire. "She is a human, an outsider, you're risking everything." KL's eyes darkened with frustration. "You're blind to what is in front of you, Ryan. Love transcends these ancient laws. Lydia is not a curse, but the light we need." "What about the pack? What about our future?" Ryan countered, his voice rising. "You need to choose, KL, your heart or your pack." Their argument echoed through the forest, drawing the attention of the pack. Lydia felt her heart sink, caught in the crossfire of their turmoil. She had grown to care deeply for KL, yet the tension between him and Ryan gnawed at her. Later that night, as Lydia wandered near the edge of the forest, the moonlight bathed her in a soft glow, illuminating her worries. She felt both exhilarated and terrified, a conflict she couldn't reconcile. "Lydia?" KL's voice broke through her thoughts, and she turned to find him standing a few paces away, his expression a mix of concern and affection. "I am sorry for causing so much trouble," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "You've taken such a risk for me, and I don't want your pack to suffer because of my presence." KL stepped closer, his eyes locking onto hers, fierce and tender. "You are not the trouble, Lydia. It is the fear that clouds their hearts. I will make them see." But what if they never do? She asked, vulnerability lacing her words. What if Ryan is right? What if I am a curse? Cale shook his head, determination flaring in his gaze. You are my light. I will fight for you against anyone, even my own blood. I promise you that. Their eyes held for a heartbeat, the air thick with unspoken emotions. Lydia reached up, brushing her fingers against his cheek, feeling the warmth of his skin. I wish I could be the mate you deserve. You already are, he murmured, leaning into her touch. And I will claim you in front of the pack. We will show them our bond is unbreakable. But the winds of fate were not so kind. The next full moon approached, and with it, a challenge that would test the strength of their love. Ryan, fueled by jealousy and a deep-rooted fear of the unknown, sought to undermine Cale's authority. You cannot choose to lead a pack with a human at your side, Ryan declared during the pack meeting, his voice laced with venom. She'll only bring misfortune. I challenge you, Cale. Silence enveloped the clearing, the air thick with tension as Cale's expression hardened. You would challenge your alpha for a human? Ryan stepped forward, his eyes glimmering with defiance. You have lost your way. If you want to protect her, you must fight for it. The pack, caught between loyalty and fear, watched as Cale accepted the challenge. As the moon rose high, illuminating the arena of their fate, Lydia's heart raced with dread. Cale, you can tease, she pleaded, stepping forward, desperation lacing her voice. You don't have to do this. He faced her, the weight of his decision heavy in the air. I must, for us. The challenge would reveal not only Cale's strength, but the true nature of their bond. Would love prevail against the tides of tradition, or would destiny tear them apart? As the wolves howled under the moon, the answer remained shrouded in shadows, waiting to be unveiled. With every heartbeat, the stakes grew higher, and the whispers of fate grew ever louder. The battle between love and fear was only just beginning. The full moon hung high in the sky, casting a silvery glow over the clearing where Cale and Ryan stood poised for battle. The tension in the air was electric, thrumming with the primal instincts of the pack. Lydia watched from the sidelines, her heart pounding against her ribs, the weight of her fears pressing down on her like an iron shroud. Cale, please, she cried out, desperation lacing her words as she stepped closer. You don't have to do this, there has to be another way. Cale turned his fierce blue gaze toward her, a flash of vulnerability breaking through his bravado. I need to show them I will protect you at any cost. I won't let their fear dictate our future. Ryan snorted, his voice dripping with disdain. Your love has blinded you, Cale. This isn't just about you and your precious human. It is about our survival. Enough. Cale's voice thundered, silencing the whispers of the pack. I will not let your hatred for what you don't understand dictate my choices. I will fight for Lydia. The pack shifted uneasily, their loyalty torn between the alpha and the beta. Some were silent, while others exchanged glances, uncertainty clouding their eyes. They were caught in a storm of tradition and love, unable to see the truth that lay before them. As Cale and Ryan squared off, Lydia's heart ached. Ryan, please, think about what you're redoing. This isn't just about a challenge, it is about lives. Her voice trembled as she spoke, her gaze pleading. Ryan's expression softened for a fleeting moment, but he shook his head, resolute. You don't belong here, Lydia. You are a walking misfortune. I can let you destroy everything we've built. With that, the fight began. Cale lunged forward, his movements fluid and powerful, a predator in his element. Ryan countered with equal ferocity, their bodies colliding in a clash of strength. The pack encircled them, gasping at each strike, the atmosphere thick with anticipation. Lydia felt panic claw at her throat as she watched Cale take a blow to the side, stumbling but quickly regaining his footing. No, she shouted, her heart racing, instinct urging her to intervene. Stop! But the wolves were bound by their instincts, their eyes fixated on the fight. Cale's determination shone with every punch he threw. Lydia, he called out, his voice strained but resolute. I fight for you. Tears pricked Lydia's eyes as she watched the love of her life struggle against the very pack that should be supporting him. You re worth it, Cale, she shouted, her voice rising above the chaos. You re my everything. Ryan seized the moment of distraction, striking Cale in the jaw, sending him reeling. The pack gasped, their fear growing palpable. Look at him, he is losing. Ryan taunted, his breath heavy with triumph. This is what happens when you go against our laws. Cale shook his head, the fire ignited within him. I will never back down, not for you, not for anyone. Lydia is my mate, my heart. I will fight for her until my last breath. The word resonated through the clearing, casting a spell over the pack. In that moment, Kale's vulnerability shone brighter than his strength, and something shifted within the hearts of the wolves. Lydia felt the weight of their gaze upon her, a mix of confusion and curiosity. You cannot keep her here, Kale. Ryan growled, charging forward with renewed vigour. The fight intensified, punches thrown and growls echoing through the night. In that chaos, Lydia stepped forward, her voice unwavering. Please, I may be human, but I love him. I will fight for him as much as he fights for me. We belong together. Her words pierced the tension, creating a moment of stillness. Kale's eyes met hers, filled with a fierce intensity that ignited a fire within her. That is it, Lydia, he breathed, his voice barely above a whisper. You re my strength. Lydia felt the bond between them pulse in response, a mystical thread weaving their hearts together. Then fight for us, show them our love is stronger than fear. With renewed determination, Kale surged forward, his wolf instincts taking over. He moved with an elegance that was breathtaking, striking Ryan with newfound resolve. The pack watched in awe as the alpha fought not just for dominance, but for love. But Ryan wasn't backing down. You think your love can change centuries of tradition? He shouted, desperation creeping into his voice as he lunged at Kale. You read just a fool chasing a fantasy. Kale dodged the attack, his eyes fiercer than ever. It is not a fantasy, it is our fate. Lydia is not a curse, she is the lifeblood of this pack. The fight raged on, but Lydia couldn't bear it to watch any longer. Her heart ached with every blow exchanged, and she felt her bond with Kale urging her forward. I believe in you, she cried, her voice raw with emotion. I believe in us. At that moment, the world seemed to shift. A shimmering light enveloped Lydia, a warmth coursing through her veins as she felt the connection flourish. The moonlight caught the edges of her hair, creating an ethereal aura around her. The pack gasped, whispers of disbelief flowing through the crowd. Kale paused mid-fight, his breath hitching as he caught sight of her. Lydia? His voice was thick with wonder, an awakening realization washing over him. Together, she shouted, her heart racing. Together, we can change everything. In that instant, Kale found his footing, his strength surging as their bond peaked. He channeled that energy, a powerful force driving him forward. Ryan, taken aback by the unexpected display of magic, faltered in his attack. Step back, Ryan. Kale commanded, his voice firm and unwavering. You don't understand. Love is magic, and it is stronger than any curse. With a final surge, Kale caught Ryan off guard, pinning him to the ground. The pack erupted in chaos, the lines of loyalty blurring as they witnessed the truth unfold. Kale's breath came in ragged gasps as he held Ryan down, his gaze fierce. Do you see now? Kale's voice was low, barely contained. This is not just about tradition, it is about the future. Lydia is my mate, and I will protect her. You need to accept her. Ryan's eyes flickered with uncertainty, the fire of defiance dimming. But she is human, she can be part of our world. Lydia stepped closer, her voice steady and clear. I may be human, but I am also a part of your world now. I love Kale, and I will fight for this pack just as fiercely as he does. The pack was silent, the weight of Lydia's words pressing on them like a tangible force. One by one, they began to lower their heads, recognizing the truth woven into her declaration. Kale released Ryan, stepping back, his own body throbbing with exertion. Will you stand with me, with us? He called to the pack, his voice filled with raw emotion. After what felt like an eternity, Ryan stood, his expression somber yet accepting. If you believe in this, Kale, I will stand down for now. The members of the pack echoed around them, discussions of acceptance and change blooming in the air. We all need to rethink our customs and traditions, Ryan admitted, his voice laced with reluctance. Kale turned to Lydia, the love in his eyes radiating warmth. We will find a way together. Lydia's heart swelled as she stepped into his embrace, feeling the weight of their victory settle over them like a shawl of hope. I am ready, she whispered, tears of relief streaming down her cheeks. We all face everything together. Under the glow of the full moon, the boundaries of love and tradition began to blur, creating a tapestry of acceptance and unity. Their journey had only just begun, but together they would weave a new destiny hand in hand. As the pack looked on, the whispers of fate transformed into a roar of possibility echoing through the blackwood forest, where love and magic intertwined, unbreakable and eternal. The full moon hung high in the night sky, casting a luminous glow over the blackwood forest as Cale and Lydia stood hand in hand, basking in the aftermath of their tumultuous confrontation. The air buzzed with uncertainty and shifting loyalties, and the pack members exchanged glances, grappling with the new reality before them. Cale turned to Lydia, his expression a mix of pride and apprehension. "I never expected you to shine like that," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "You brought the magic out in me." Lydia felt a blush rise to her cheeks, the warmth of his words wrapping around her like a cozy blanket. "I was just speaking from my heart. You fought for me. I had to fight for us." Her heart raced at the thought of what lay ahead. "But what happens now, Cale? Will they truly accept me?" Cale's brow furrowed, his determination faltering for just a moment. "I don't, Brian may say he will stand down, but fear festers in the hearts of wolves. It may take time for them to understand." Frustration bubbled within Lydia. "But I am not an enemy. I want to be a part of this pack, to contribute and share in your life." Her voice cracked, revealing the vulnerability that lay just beneath her brave facade. "I love you, Cale, and I want to build a life with you here." He stepped closer, his hands framing her face, as if he could shield her from the insecurities that loomed like dark clouds. "I love you too, Lydia. You are my heart, my mate. Together, we will show them what love can create." As dawn began to break, casting golden rays over the forest, the pack gathered once more. Cale stood at the forefront, resolute and fierce, while Lydia stood by his side, feeling the weight of their staring eyes upon her. The silence was thick, charged with unspoken words and lingering doubts. "Brothers and sisters of the Moonshadow Pack," Cale began, his voice resonating with authority. "I know that my choices have shaken the foundation of our traditions, but love is a powerful force. Lydia is not a curse, she is a part of my destiny." Ryan stepped forward, his posture rigid and defensive. "You may have won the battle, Cale, but the war isn't over. The pack is divided. Acceptance doesn't come easily, especially when fear is at play." The murmurs rippled through the crowd, uncertainty palpable in the air. Lydia took a deep breath, her heart pounding. "I understand the fears you have," she said, her voice steady yet soft. "But I promise you, my love for Cale is genuine. I will fight alongside you, defend this pack, and embrace your ways." A few pack members exchanged skeptical glances, but others seemed intrigued by her fierce resolve. Cale nodded encouragingly, sensing the tide beginning to shift. "Together, we will forge a new path," he declared, his gaze sweeping over his pack. "Lydia and I will prove that love can bridge the gaps created by fear." But Ryan's expression hardened, uncertainty morphing into resentment. "You speak of love, but what of tradition? What will happen when humans come hunting for her? You are a fool to think this will end well." The venom in his voice lingered like a dark shadow. Lydia's heart sank at his words, the weight of his disdain heavy upon her shoulders. "I won't let fear dictate our lives anymore," she said, her voice growing stronger. "I want to understand your ways and protect what you hold dear." A soft growl of approval emerged from the shadow's mirror. The wise matriarch of the pack stepped into view. Her silver hair glimmered under the light of the rising sun. "Change is never easy, but perhaps it is necessary. Love has the power to heal wounds we thought were too deep." Ryan huffed, crossing his arms defiantly. "You speak of healing, but what if her presence invites danger? Would you risk the lives of our kin for a fleeting human?" "Enough." Cale's voice echoed through the clearing, silencing the dissent. "We cannot allow fear to dictate our choices. Lydia is here to stay, and together we will face whatever comes our way." A heavy silence fell, a mixture of uncertainty and grudging acceptance. Cale turned to Lydia, his expression fierce. "We need to win their hearts, Lydia. We must show them that our bond isn't just a dream, it is a reality." And so began their journey. Lydia immersed herself in pack life, eager to learn and embrace her new reality. She spent days observing, practicing, and doing everything she could to prove her worth. Yet whispers of doubt followed her, shadows lurking just beyond the periphery of acceptance. As the evening of the next full moon approached, Lydia felt the weight of anticipation settle over her. The pack was preparing for the moon feast, a sacred tradition that celebrated unity among the wolves. This was her chance to solidify her place among them and show her commitment. "Are you ready for tonight?" Cale asked, his blue eyes searching hers. They stood in a secluded grove, the trees swaying gently with the breeze, offering them a moment of solace. Lydia nodded, her heart racing. I want to be part of this, Kale. I want to share in your traditions. Kale smiled, the warmth of his pride igniting her spirit. Then let us do this together. As the evening descended, the pack gathered around a large bonfire, the flames flickering and dancing in rhythm with the howls that echoed through the night. Lydia stood by Kale's side, her heart pounding as she prepared to address the crowd. Tonight, we honour our ancestors and the bond we share as a pack, Kale announced, his voice strong and steady. Let us also embrace the new bond that transcends our fears. He gestured to Lydia, his heart full of hope. She stepped forward, taking a deep breath to steady herself. I know there are doubts about my presence among you, but I promise to honour your traditions and protect this pack like my own family, she said, her voice unwavering. I love Kale, and together we can build a future that includes all of us. The fire crackled, illuminating the faces of the pack as they listened intently. Ryan stood at the edge, arms crossed, skepticism still etched on his face. Then, unexpectedly, a howl arose from the crowd, a call of acceptance and unity. One by one, wolves joined in, their voices harmonizing into a powerful proclamation. Lydia felt tears brim in her eyes as she realized the shift happening around her. But Ryan remained unmoved, his eyes dark with distrust. You may have won tonight, Kale, but I won't be so easily convinced, he growled, his tone sharp. Is this and tea over? The joy of the feast was tainted with this threat, and Lydia felt a shiver run down her spine. What do you mean? She asked, her voice trembling slightly. Ryan stepped forward, his gaze piercing. You may have the pack's approval for now, but I will find a way to expose your weaknesses. You don't belong here, and I will do everything in my power to protect our traditions. Kale moved to shield Lydia, his posture protective. You will not threaten her, he growled, his alpha instincts flaring to life. You read blind to what true strength looks like. Ryan scoffed, his laughter harsh and cynical. True strength, is that what you call this? He gestured between Kale and Lydia, his voice dripping with contempt. You risking everything for a human, you a fool. In the midst of the tension, Lydia felt a familiar warmth swirl within her connection to Kale, a bond that defied reason. You may not understand me, Ryan, but I will prove my worth. I am not here to take from you. I want to be part of this family. Family? Ryan spat, his eyes narrowing. You'll never be one of us. This is just the beginning. You'll soon discover how harsh this world can be. Kale stepped between them, his expression fierce. Let her be, Ryan. You only fueling your own anger. Lydia's love is as powerful as any wolf's loyalty. But Ryan wasn't finished. Love won't protect you against the hunters. They smell weakness, and the moment they catch wind of a human among us, it will be our undoing. The tension hung in the air like a storm cloud, heavy and overwhelming. Lydia felt a surge of determination rising within her. Then I will fight to protect this pack, to prove our love is stronger than any threat. Kale turned to her, admiration shining in his eyes. Together, we'll face whatever comes next. I promise you, Lydia, you are not alone. With that promise, the moon hung high above them, casting a silver light over the clearing, illuminating their paths intertwined with a destiny yet to unfold. As the pack continued their celebrations, Lydia felt hope blossom within her, a flicker of warmth amid the chill of uncertainty. But little did they know, the moon was not the only force at play in the Blackwood forest. Dark clouds loomed on the horizon, signalling that danger was near, and the threads of fate were about to be woven into a tale that would test the very limits of love and loyalty. As the night deepened and the celebrations continued around the bonfire, Lydia felt the pulsating energy of the pack, each heartbeat resonating with her own. She stood close to Kale, the warmth of his presence grounding her amidst the uncertainty. The laughter and howls of joy circled around her like a bomb, but the whisper of Ryan's threats gnawed at her heart. Why does he hate me so much? Lydia asked, her brow furrowed in concern. She looked up at Kale, her heart aching for the turmoil he faced. I just want to belong. Kale sighed, his expression softening as he brushed a strand of hair behind her ear. Ryan is stubborn. He believes in the old ways, and he fears what he does not understand. He has been my closest friend for years, but love can blind us to the truth. Is it really love if it breeds such resentment? Lydia questioned, her voice barely above a whisper. What if he is right? What if I do bring misfortune? Kale's gaze sharpened, his touch firm as he cupped her chin. You are not misfortune, Lydia. You are my mate, my heart. We will face whatever comes side by side. I refuse to let Ryan's fear dictate our future. But as the fire crackled, the scent of smoke mingling with the cool night air. A sense of dread shadowed Lydia. She felt the weight of the pack's scrutiny, and she was acutely aware that Ryan was not the only one watching her. As the festivities ebbed, the pack members began to disperse, leaving the clearing quieter and tinged with an air of unresolved tension. Cale and Lydia lingered by the dying embers, their hearts intertwined yet burdened by the weight of the challenges ahead. "Let us take a walk," Cale suggested, sensing Lydia's unease. Together, they wandered deeper into the forest, the moonlight guiding their path. The silence enveloped them, a sanctuary away from the prying eyes of the pack. "Cale." Lydia's voice broke through the stillness, fragile yet resolute. "What if Ryan does expose my weaknesses? What if I am not strong enough to be here?" He paused, turning to face her fully. "You are stronger than you realize, Lydia. Your heart is fierce, and that matters more than any tradition. But if Ryan wants to challenge our bond, we must be prepared." "How do we prepare for something we can't control?" she asked, her heart heavy with uncertainty. "I feel like I am teetering on the edge of a cliff, and one wrong move could send me spiraling." Cale stepped closer, his presence a fortress against her fears. "Then let me be your strength. When the time comes, stand by my side. Together, we are unbreakable." Lydia nodded, her breath hitching as she looked into his eyes, the depths of his love reflecting back at her. "I believe in us. I just wish the pack could see it too." As the moon rose higher, casting a silvery glow over their surroundings, something shifted in the air. A distant howl echoed through the forest, sending a shiver down Lydia's spine. Cale's expression darkened as he turned toward the sound, instincts flaying to life. "Stay close," he commanded, his voice low and protective. They moved deeper into the woods, the tension crackling like static in the air. As they rounded a bend, they stumbled upon a scene that sent Lydia's heart racing. Ryan stood beside a group of wolves, their expressions hardened with determination, eyes glinting with a feral intensity. "We cannot let her remain among us any longer," Ryan asserted, his voice commanding. "We must rid ourselves of this threat." Cale stepped forward, his body taut with anger. "Ryan, you are out of line. This isn't just your choice. It affects the entire pack." "And what will you do to protect her, Cale?" Ryan spat, advancing toward him. "You think your love for a human will save us from the hunters? You think your heart can fend off danger?" "Enough." Cale's voice boomed through the clearing, silencing the murmurs of dissent. "Lydia is not a threat. She is my mate. I will protect her with my life." The tension in the air was palpable, thick with emotion swirling like a tempest. Lydia felt the weight of their gazes upon her, the judgment lingering like a spectre. "I can fight for myself," she called out, her voice steady and fierce. "I refuse to be seen as a weakness." Ryan sneered, his expression cold. "You don't belong here, Lydia. You may have convinced Cale, but you will never convince the rest of us. The hunters will come, and you will lead them straight to us." "Ryan, please," Lydia pleaded, stepping forward. "I want to fight for this pack. I don't want to bring harm. I love Cale, and I will protect what is dear to him." But Ryan's eyes darkened with disdain. "Love is not enough. You will always be human, a weakness we cannot afford." In that moment, Cale lunged forward, his instincts taking over. "You want to challenge me for her?" he growled, his voice low and threatening. "Then let it be a challenge of strength, of courage. I will show the pack that our love is no weakness but our greatest strength." The pack shifted uneasily, uncertainty rippling through them like a wave. "What are you suggesting, Cale?" Ryan asked, his voice low and dangerous. Cale's determination surged. "If you think Lydia is a curse, then challenge me. Show me your strength, your loyalty, and if you win, I will leave this pack for good. But if I win, you will accept her as one of us." Lydia's heart raced, torn between fear and admiration for Cale's fierce resolve. "No, Cale, you don't have to do this." She stepped forward, desperation flooding her voice. "I don't want to be the reason for this conflict." But Cale shook his head, determination blazing in his eyes. "This isn't just about you, Lydia. It is about our future, our love. I won't let them tear us apart." Ryan scoffed, his eyes narrowing. "You think this is a game? You regret this challenge, Cale." As the two wolves squared off, Lydia felt the ground shift beneath her. The pack gathered around, anticipation hanging in the air like a storm cloud. She felt the weight of their judgment, but she also felt the flicker of hope igniting within her. "Cale, fight for us," Lydia shouted, her voice unwavering. "Show them that love is stronger than fear." The clearing erupted with primal energy as Kale and Ryan faced each other, muscles taut and ready. The pack-ass howls filled the air, echoing the primal instinct that bound them together. The two wolves lunged at each other, muscles coiling and releasing in a brutal ballet of strength and fury. Kale fought fiercely, each blow fueled by passion and love, but Ryan was relentless, his loyalty to tradition driving him with a fierce intensity. "Is this all your love can muster?" Ryan taunted, delivering a sharp blow to Kale's side. "You re a fool chasing a fantasy." Kale growled in response, his breath laboured yet filled with determination. "This is not a fantasy. It is our reality. I will not back down." With each strike, Lydia felt her heart race, the tension of the moment enveloping her. "You can do this, Kale," she cried, her voice breaking through the chaos. "Fight for our love." As the battle raged on, Kale's movements became more fluid, his instincts awakened by the bond they shared. Lydia felt the connection between them pulse, a wave of energy that surged through her veins, igniting a fire within her heart. Together, she shouted, her voice strong and unwavering. "You are not alone, Kale, I believe in you." The intensity of her words reverberated through the clearing, creating a moment of clarity amidst the chaos. Kale's eyes met hers, filled with an unspoken understanding that transcended words. He drew strength from her unwavering belief, the bond they shared becoming a powerful force. With one final surge of energy, Kale launched himself at Ryan, combining strength and love in a stunning display of power. Ryan faltered for a split second, caught off guard by the force of Kale's determination. In that moment, Kale struck with purpose, pinning Ryan to the ground. The pack gasped, the silence echoing like a heartbeat as Kale's fierce blue eyes bore into Ryan's, a mixture of triumph and regret swimming within them. "I won't let fear dictate our future any longer," Kale declared, his voice steady and strong. "You may hate Lydia for being human, but she is not a curse. Our love is the magic that binds."